You guys have to bear with me a little bit today. I'm a little stuffy. That's why I'm outside getting some fresh air. As the season's been changing, so has my body. Last night, I was watching a video about success, and the video was from one of my favorite astrologers, and he was discussing how in order to achieve success, you have to be able to separate your desires from your intent. That's actually something that I focus on a lot, because the nature of my business and the way that it grows and expands, like, it's actually quite necessary for me to stay focused on my intent of why I create and why I do what I do. And for those of you who don't know, I create jewelry. I create content. I do a lot of things, just a lot of different artistic ventures within my community, where I live, as well as internationally, globally. And I started my journey in 2019. I literally went on a journey and traveled overseas, and I began to understand what expansion looks like in my life, what freedom looks like in my life. And one of my bigger focuses, or my intent at the time, was to have sovereignty over my life. That's always been something that's been at the forefront of my mind since I was a child, having sovereignty. I didn't probably know that word at the time, but I love my freedom, and to me, freedom is something that comes through my creative expression. Definitely that is something that's part of my intent. Now, as a human, of course, I have desires. We all have desires. Like you might have desires to achieve a certain amount of wealth, or be connected to certain people, or when I think of desires, sometimes I think of them as relating to the physical flesh and kind of pleasing the flesh in that way, in whatever way. And so, you could have a desire for a certain kind of foods and things like that. But when I think about intent, I think about the action part of it, and the desire is more of the internal part of it. And I do agree it is good to separate the two so that you can really understand how you will obtain one and what will be the driving force for the other. And so when I was writing down, there's a bee on my pen in my notebook. I'm not sure why the bee is here. It's kind of cold outside. But yeah, he's certainly visiting me. Maybe I should show you guys. I don't know if you can see the bee. Oh. The bee is out. The bee has flown away. But thank you, Mr. Bee, for visiting me. Where I'm at, the sun is bright, right? But it keeps moving. There's clouds. It's not moving. The clouds are moving. And it's making the light go from really dark to really light. But anyhow, I wrote down some of my intentions last night. And these are things that I do already know, but I realize how important they are to keep at the forefront of my mind, and at the center of my heart, because when you have your intent, you will start to realize that it will fulfill your desires, or at least the desires that are in best alignment with your intentions, and it'll go beyond that. So, to use an example, someone could desire riches or fame or something, but their intent would be the thing that helps to put them in the path of obtaining those things and beyond those things. So it would be like, it's my intention to create whatever I create, and that's what puts me in the place to even have a fulfillment of my desires. So personally, when I wrote down my desires and I was thinking about it last night, honestly, one of my biggest goals, and something that I do, I create beautiful, unique pieces. Like, I create beautiful, unique pieces that reflect the beauty of the soul. And yes, they use natural elements and things that are in harmony with nature and keep us in harmony with nature. But at the biggest point, my intention when I create is to reflect the beauty of the soul, because the things that we adorn our bodies with are what we want to reflect, from our soul. And I just remember throughout my life growing up and learning about self-expression in different ways, and what does it look like, and how can I, present myself in this world, like, through the way I look, the way I dress, the way I style my hair, the jewelry that I wear, the tones that I speak in, the way I smell. Like, all of these things are a reflection of what is inside of our soul. So that's definitely at the heart's intention of why I create. And in addition to even having that focus of why I create, it's like I want to create lifetime pieces that people feel like, I need to wear this every day of my life because it so reflects what is inside of me. It allows me to truly express who I am. And it just gives the person, the wearer, a very deep connection with it, to where they're like, yo, I gotta rock this as often as I can. So yeah, like, those are two of my intentions, was to reflect the beauty of the soul in my work, as well as create lifetime pieces. And there are things I want a new car, I want to be like connected with creative artists that are at the top of their craft, that are in this life living abundantly and to the fullest, who are expressing themselves, who are inspiring others, who are traveling, who are just doing all these cool things. Like, yeah, I want to be connected with those people. But in order to do that, I realized that I have to have my intent, and I don't have to go seek those people out. Like, oh, I see this person and I think they fit the image of what I'm desiring. No, I just have to embody that thing so that I could be connected to it naturally, through life. Okay, it's getting cold. I'm gonna have to go inside. I'm gonna switch this video to the inside of my car. Yeah, so I can think better. So it definitely got a little bit too cold outside for your girl. I had to switch it into my car, which is cool. I like it. Yeah. When the sun disappeared, it got extremely cold for me. So I remember just speaking on my desires versus my intent, and yes, you have to get clear with your intentions in order to succeed, in order to achieve what you view as success. And I definitely have a lot of different desires, but intention is such a great thing, because sometimes desires are good and sometimes they're not that great. There's a hierarchy for desires. You have your lower desires and you have your higher nature desires, and neither is wrong or bad. It's just important to understand, like, will this serve me and where I want to go? Will this benefit me, holistically? So I'll give you an example. I have a certain number in mind, right? Like a desire of how much money I think I want to have saved in the bank, right? However, I have to find a way to get to it, and I think that's where my intention carries me to it. But the intention is just it's just so much deeper than the desire itself, because you could have a number in mind and reach it and not even really have the total fulfillment that you would imagine yourself having just from having whatever perceived security that you think that this number is going to bring you. And so I have my intention to focus on, rather than focusing on my desire, is to create. And I say to myself, and I've said it for a while, I want my jewelry to reach the four corners of this earth, every continent. I want people, it's not that I want, it's it's gonna happen. My jewelry will be sent to all the continents of the earth, and it is happening. There's so many, it's shoot, I think it might have been, I don't know if I've shipped to Africa yet. I think I might have somebody in Egypt who bought something. But definitely, it's been to Europe and Asia and definitely in the islands. I don't know if I have South American. I do, yeah. I sold jewelry in Peru while I was there. In North America, here in the US and Canada for sure, and Ireland and places like that. I don't know where everything is. But yeah, I have this, intent. I know that what I'm doing is something much bigger than me. Since my jewelry does reflect the beauty of the soul, it's an important thing for people to have, for those who vibe with it, because it's something that connects you spiritually to your path and allows you to be yourself in a raw form. And it's not just what I do, but what I do is special, It's it's special to me, and it's special in the earth. And so, yeah, I want, not that I just want, but, I'm doing this to send my things off to touch the whole world. And I want people young and old to have it. I've made things for babies. I've made things for elders. So, yeah, I want to continue in that for young and old people to have it, as well as people of all classes. I want people who don't have a lot of money to be able to still obtain my jewelry, as well as people who have a ton of money to be able to obtain it. And I don't know the net worth of my richest client or whatever, but I have created some pieces for people who are kind of prominent in their industries, and then I've created things for the common folk, or even just given some pieces away to people that I just meet. So those are my intentions, and those are very easy things for me to continue to allow to happen, to stay focused on. I don't, even though I say I have a number that I want to reach and stuff in the bank and all that, whether I have it or not, I do enjoy living life to the fullest every single day that I can. And whatever number I think, it doesn't, it's not going to satisfy anything as deeply as what those intentions that I have could satisfy. So really, when you're separating your intentions from your desires, it's a matter of just surrendering to the soul's journey, the soul's path, and knowing that the thing that is of the higher nature is what will fulfill my heart and my soul, and that will give me riches, that will give me good health, peace of mind. It will get my needs met, it'll do so much more. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share. That is my thoughts on success, personal success, how to define it for yourself, and really how to obtain it each and every day. I had somebody ask me, like, I shared this post about how you can travel. I mean, the post is like this thing on Instagram stories where it tells you to share like 6 pictures from 6 places you've traveled this year. And I shared like the different like countries and things that I've been to, places that I've been to this year. And they're like, wow, this is amazing. How do you do it? And I just felt like that question aligned so much with this topic that I wanted to speak on, because it's so much deeper than some kind of formula that I could try to generate, or some type of advice that is like, oh, you need to save this money or do this or book here. Like, nah, I do this because not only is it like a desire for me to be free in all forms, like and to see this world in my own way and without limits. Like, it's my intention to make that happen for myself. It's my intention to meet people in this world who are on the same vibe as me and who are free, who are also earth angels like myself. And it's my intention to see different things that I feel like my eyes need to see. And so that's how I do it. Yeah. So that's it for this video. If you guys want to hear me talk about anything else, let me know and I'll definitely consider it. On this channel, like, first of all, please like, share, subscribe, and keep the vibes going. But on this channel, like, and all of my channels, it's about using this platform as like my video diary, documenting my life, connecting with other artistic, creative, expressible people, like people who are living life to their fullest and showing you guys what it looks like, and merging creativities from my craft to theirs. Like, that's my goal. And yeah, just using the tools that I have to show that like I actually appreciate them, like this camera that I have, my skills that I have. Like, I just want to use everything that I have at my disposal to reflect life and more life. So yeah, if you have any ideas of like what you'd like to see, let me know, and I'll be sure to consider those things and include it in the content. Yeah, like, share, subscribe, and if you have some intentions or desires, write them down. There's power in it. Write it down. Write it in the comments below, as well as in your journal, and keep it at the center of your heart, in the forefront of your mind, so that we can continue to get closer to those goals.